Failing to get this done would risk millions upon millions of dollars of damage. Again, I ask legislators, is it worth the gamble? I don't think so. I urge legislators to get this done for the health and safety of our communities. While many of our tax relief measures are moving forward, I want to highlight one that some legislators decided to stall: a child tax credit for lower income and middle class Montana families. With prices skyrocketing, it's harder for Montanans to make ends meet, especially for Montana parents who are raising their young kids. Our budget for Montana families proposes a $1,200 per child tax credit to help families with the rising cost of raising their younger children, including health care, child care, food, clothing, diapers. A child tax credit strengthens families, empowers parents, especially working mothers. The child tax credit is historically a very conservative idea. It's pro-family and pro-child. President Trump expanded the federal child tax credit in his tax cuts in 2017. Representative Josh Kazmaier of Fort Benton is sponsoring the child tax credit bill in this legislative session. It easily passed its first House committee and the House on its second reading. Last week, though, the members of the House Appropriations Committee tabled it, again without explanation. These legislators are stalling this pro-family, pro-growth tax cut. For the sake of hardworking Montana families, our friends in the legislature ought to get this bill across the finish line. Let's get it done. To close, I'm optimistic about what we've accomplished together, both Republicans and Democrats, in the first half of this legislative session, but there's clearly more work to do. Montanans sent us to Helena to serve them and deliver on their priorities and get the job done. That's what I'm focused on every day. So let's get it done. With that, I'd be happy to take some questions. Who's first? Yes.
Governor John Riley, Montana Television Network. Speaking on transmittal, how do you feel that we are now at the halfway point? Is there any legislation that didn't make it that you wish would have?
Well, we're tracking a number of things. So we don't know. The dust hasn't even fully settled yet. Transmittal's not done until the end of the week. I just want to highlight the fact that getting $1 billion of tax relief for Montanans done before transmittal, that is really historic. Talking to legislators and prior legislative leaders, usually this stuff doesn't happen until the 11th hour. So I'm just proud we were able to deliver early. I always want to see things happen faster, but this is a remarkable result of collaboration between the administration and the legislature. Yes?
Tom Goodwin-McLeod. Governor, you said appropriations tabled the child tax credit without explanation. Have you not received an explanation for why it was tabled? Or?
Well, we can give you the voting record. You can call them and ask them. I don't have any additional information for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Kayla with the Daily Montanan. I'm curious what your plans will be if the legislature does in fact fund the Medicaid reimbursement rates to the guidehouse recommendations.
Yeah, so we put forward really the largest increase in Medicaid reimbursement rates ever because we think they need to go up. I'm glad to see the legislature see that they also believe that they need to go up. So there's no disagreement that we need to raise rates. And I look forward to getting the bill that they pass. Online? Yeah, Caitlin?
Josh.
Josh, go ahead. You're online.
Governor, good to hear from you. My question is about SB 47. 2 weeks ago, you said this really needs to get passed at the time it is installed. Since then, it's been revived. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's important that we get this passed. For those that don't follow all the numbers, my understanding SB 47 is this trucker training stuff that we need. We're the 50th state to pass this. We need to get it done so that our truckers don't lose their licenses and we don't lose federal funding for our highways. So I was pleased to see the motion. I did call out the legislature, and I'm also pleased to see that they responded and are now moving the bill. Question here in the room?
Yeah, I'm looking at the billion-dollar tax package coming through. There's long-term, short-term stuff, long-term stuff there. There's not long-term property tax relief in that. What do you hope to see the second half of the session to address that issue?
Yeah, so property tax is a tremendous concern. That's why we really prioritize immediate relief in the form of rebates, which is in this package that's been approved. In parallel with that, we need to put reforms in place to make sure that local municipalities are responsible in how they grow their budgets. You've seen some of the numbers. Some municipalities have had their spending grow 70% higher than inflation and population growth. And that's really the primary driver in property taxes. The state doesn't get property tax. It goes to the local municipalities. And most of our counties and municipalities are very good fiscal stewards. We have some outliers. I think we need to increase transparency. There's a bill coming through the legislature in that regard to make it easier for local folks to know where their property taxes are going. We also have a bill that's looking at allowing people to pay their taxes monthly rather than in 2 lump sums per year. That reduces the burden. But also, we've got to look at some of the runaway spending that occurs at the local level and bring some more accountability there. So we'll look forward to getting some of those bills. Okay. Yes, Caitlin?
From Alex.
Alex, you're online. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, Governor Alex Sackerson here with Montana Free Press. You've announced that we'll be signing House Bill 15 today, providing that 3% inflation adjustment to the K-12 budget for the next biennium. But like over the last biennium, we've seen inflation rise by about 10%, and I'm wondering, do you think the state should be doing more to fill that gap for public schools?
Yeah, so I think our goal in education has to be to help every child reach their full potential. That's why we're supporting this increase in funding. It's also why we've been such a strong advocate for increasing starting teacher pay through the TEACH Act. The TEACH Act raised starting teacher pay for over 400 public school teachers in the first year of its enactment, and our current budget has another significant increase in that funding to encourage local school boards to increase starting teacher pay. So it's a priority for us, and we'll continue to act on it.
So kind of wrap those last 2 questions together, right? Local school boards increasing teacher pay, they've got to go to property taxes to do that job. Right? We know there's concern about property taxes, particularly in some of the high cost of living communities. Do you think the state should step in with additional aid to help bridge some of that gap?
We need to make sure our schools are properly funded. That's handled at the local level through property taxes. And we'll continue to partner with these municipalities to make sure that the resources are there for our kids. Yeah. Okay.
Peter?
Yep. Peter, go ahead. You're online. Maybe not.
He's muted still, but question.
Okay. Well, if he comes back, we'll go back to him. Any other questions here in the room? Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.